away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get to the app. They will deliver it right to your front door, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop. Or stop down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up. They will save you 15% off of your order. Get some tendies, get some fried chicken, get some chicken dunkers. I love those damn things. Make sure you enjoy the incredible Galactic sauce and just get yourself taken care of. It's, for our money, the best fried chicken in the city, and you will love it. All right, let's get going, Aaron. Couple housekeeping things here before we get started. I'll sit over here for a minute, and then I know you love this stuff, so we'll put you in the driver's seat here in a little bit. First off, that thing behind Aaron, we're excited about that. It's called a team ticker.
Right now it says wide receiver Tavares Dawson flips commitment.
Yeah, from Cincinnati to Colorado.
That needs to be updated.
Yeah.
It says five more players signed to the NFL, but it was 8.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll make sure that, but it's for your man cave. It's for your your spot. You get a little team ticker and you connect it to your Wi-Fi, and it gives you all the updates right there. And we're excited to have them on board. That'll be rolling out a little bit more next week as we do the BCJ podcast. For now, they are sponsoring the Bearcat of the Week. The Bearcat of the Week this week, Aaron, the entire golf team, including head coach Doug Martin, who joined us on the BCJ podcast. It was Dave knows his golf, man. Like, I don't even have anything to say when Dave and Doug are talking.
He worked for the PGA, or why are you surprised?
I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, good talk, boys. They made the first ever. For the first ever time in program history, they are going to the NCAA tournament as a team. It was a really cool event today in the Champions Club at Fifth Third Arena to watch them get selected, and we will be following them starting Monday of next week. I think the 15th is the day that it begins. But excited to see those guys get out there, and Doug has been increasingly a great friend of this network. So that was really cool.
I mean, to go back to his first interview and how excited he was about the season, and to see how it's gone and how he did when they were down in the Caribbean,
Puerto Rico,
and to see where the season has gone for him, knowing how excited he was about the season when we had the first interview and all that. Like, it's just really cool to see it all come together and for him to have a hell of a team this year.
Yeah. Also really cool just seeing how much love they got from the Golf Channel. Like, they didn't talk. They talked about the number 1 seeds, and then they have little like things about each region. They spent like 2-3 minutes talking specifically about the UC program and Doug Martin and that they think they can be kind of a factor in this thing. So that was really cool. The other big thing that came out today, actually, ironically, as they were being announced, their location in the NCAA tournament, Ben Bryant announced that he was heading to Northwestern. I thought there was a very good chance that Ben Bryant would be back here for next season, but he clearly feels like he's got an opportunity to go to Northwestern and win that job. A name from the past, I didn't realize until Dave said it. Mike Bajagan is the offensive coordinator at Northwestern, so he had some familiarity with Cincinnati, and very cool for Ben, man. Look, I'm a Ben Bryant guy. I think he's an awesome kid. Not even a kid anymore, like a middle-aged man almost. As long as he's been in college, I had a great relationship with his parents. She might get mad at me for this, but I was exchanging messages with his mom today. Just kind of, she was like thanking us for, covering Ben and his career, and she said, "I'm really gonna miss hearing." And away we go. It is the show here on the. And I was like, yeah,
because Northwestern's gonna do it like, "Good evening." Welcome to the Northwestern podcast.
Is there a Northwestern podcast?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I did research because I had planned on potentially going to graduate school. Northwestern's huge. Northwestern is where.
Oh no, their journalism school is massive.
Yes, yeah. So Michael Wilbon and
they are to journalism what Syracuse is to broadcasting in terms of sports.
Both Michael Wilbon and Jay Adonde do classes at Northwestern. So yeah, they're huge in journalism. So I can't imagine they don't have some type of podcast.
I was being facetious.
If not 40.
Right.
40.
Welcome in. This is the Northwestern
fireside chat here.
So I'm gonna miss Ben. I love the kid. I really enjoyed having him here for as long as he was here.
He's got an opportunity though to beat Ohio State and to beat Wisconsin.
Yeah. I think November 11th, Ben Bryant versus Luke Fickell. Let's go. Let's go, Benny. Let's go, Benny. Let's go. Excited for Ben. I'm going to miss having him around. He was a very enjoyable kid to cover. He never backed away.
To the
he
end.
answered the tough questions.
Even the way that he and Emory handled the microphone after the spring game, you could tell just the mutual respect they had for one another. We've talked about that already, but just it amazed me just hearing them ooh and ah about each other and the little time that they spent around each other.
Like Ben's a pro. Like he knows how to handle this stuff. He's been through it. And to the people that want to continue to take shots at Ben, grow up. Like the kid got two degrees at the University of Cincinnati. I would guess that's 2 more degrees than most people that are complaining about Ben ever got from the University of Cincinnati. He loved Cincinnati. He loved this program. It ended up, he had a better opportunity for his football career, and he took it. So good luck to him, and I wish him well. All right.
Yes.
You ready? Here you go.
I'm ready. But real quick, I did want to address something we hadn't addressed yet before we get into the conversation we're going to get into. Cincinnati Baseball. We talk about how Doug Martin has spent time with us. Googs has also spent time with us. And Cincinnati Baseball now stands at 20-24 as they get ready to head into what's going to look like a pretty big weekend against ECU. They did sweep South Florida at South Florida last weekend. And prior to that, they took 2 of 3 from Tulane the weekend before that. Right now, again at 20-24 in conference, they are scroll correctly 8-7 in conference, which puts them in, I believe, 4th place. Yeah, 4th place. Yeah. And ECU, who they played this weekend, is above them at 9-6 in conference, and Wichita State and Houston stand at 10-5, tied for first. So Cincinnati has a big opportunity this weekend to come out on top of the conference potentially.
Yeah, they're picking up steam. This is one of the things that Coach Googs has been known for with his teams is their ability to play well or play better later in the season.
So it warms up.
Yeah, hopefully we're seeing this team starting to find its groove as we get down the home stretch of the regular season into the conference tournament, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Also,
obviously, they're going to have to win the conference tournament to
for sure
make the NCAA regionals.
Did want to say Friday night is Guardians of the Galaxy night mini poster giveaway. Saturday night is Bark in the Park, so you can bring your little dogs.
Oh, doggo.
And then Sunday, fun for the family, is Run the Bases post game. So lots of stuff going around that program. Different thing every day.
Yeah.
Whatever you're looking for. So just wanted to mention that. But the meat and potatoes of this one that I wanted to get to. George Kliavkoff.
Well, let's Dennis Dodd. So what's happening right now to set the stage? hold on. You got to learn how to set. If you're going to be in the first chair, you got to learn how to set the stage. Athletic directors are all having conference meetings out in, I think, Arizona or Dallas.
The Fiesta Summit.
Yeah, I think it's in Arizona. So like all the ADs are all together and everybody is talking. It's kind of like the baseball hot stove league when they do the winter meetings for the owners, things of that nature. And Dennis Dodd kind of drops a bombshell tonight. And here you go.
So ESPN will not be picking up the Tier 1 games for the Pac-12. George Kliavkoff has to be freaking out at this point. He has been kicking the can down the road for months now, and it's all blowing up in his face as essentially...
Here's what Dennis Dodd had to say. The situation developed at the Fiesta Summit spring meetings this week when Big 12 officials were told by ESPN executives its league was one of 3 conferences the network would be airing in the future. ESPN currently has Power 5 agreements with the Big 12, the SEC, and the ACC. The Pac-12's current media deal runs out July 1st, 2024. It's the first time publicly ESPN has said, we're not doing anything with the Pac-12. A Big 12 administrator aware of the exchange told CBS Sports under the condition of anonymity. ESPN will not be contending for the top-tier Pac-12 games. It may be interested in a smaller package secondary rights for games in that 10:30 Eastern window.
Sure.
A source close to the talks emphasized that they are taking a never-say-never approach when it comes to potential partners as negotiation continues.
And I believe it says later in that article that the conference essentially needed to have at minimum $28 million per school in order to stay together. I think that was everyone's dollar amount that they needed in order to stay the Pac-12 before teams started to
splinter,
go looking in for greener pastures.
If ESPN's out and Fox is out, and you're not going to get a lifeline from CBS or NBC, this is danger, Will Robinson, like legitimate danger. I did hear Dan Simon texted me earlier and said to keep an eye on Channel 1. Remember Channel 1 when we were in school? Did you have that when we were in school? Oh,
Channel 1 for me is Spectrum News.
No, there used to be this thing called Channel 1 where they would play it on your TV in homeroom, and it would be like your homeroom announcements when you were in high school. So Channel 1 is they're contending for the late night rights.
I don't think our school had money to do a channel.
You didn't have TVs in your homeroom?
In grade school?
I think this was more like middle or high school for me.
I feel like we were still wheeling TVs in to the rooms when we needed to use TVs.
When you had a substitute teacher, you were just wheeling the TVs in the room.
They were on the cart.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. So nobody got my Channel 1 joke. That's okay. But, I mean, the talk is what USA might be like.
Maybe.
And as the article mentions, USA has dabbled in sports. Maybe more than dabbled. USA has been a provider in sports content for a long time,
or at least entertainment. Are we considering WWE sports, or are we considering it sports entertainment?
Well, it's sports entertainment, so there is an element of sports there.
I'm not trying to take anything away from the athletes because, my God, I could not do what they do. But I don't. You can't bet on it. Ish. You can kind of get some of the one-offs and what have you, but it's not.
But I mean, at least USA has been active in live
some type of realm
coverage. Yeah. But that's going to be the home of the Pac-12, USA.
Not a good look. Not a good look.
USA is going to pay $250 million a year for that.
The question I'm going to pose to you, though, is would you take USA and a lesser dollar amount to be on cable or
over streaming? Yeah.
over
Right
streaming?
now I would. Yeah, right now I would. So if you can sell USA Tier 1 rights, if you're the Pac-12, if you can sell USA Tier 1 rights and like ESPN gets, this is where it gets tricky because ESPN is not going to want just a crap, random, bottom level Pac-12 game at 10:30 every week.
Well, once USC and UCLA are gone, what do you have left?
Well, but what I'm saying is ESPN is not going to pay a good number of dollars for Oregon State versus Cal.
Again, once UCLA and USC are gone, though, you have Washington, you have Oregon. Who else? Stanford?
I mean, but Arizona and Arizona State still draw numbers. They're not good at football. Utah still has a pretty big audience.
Utah's been good of late.
Yeah. So there is some value, but but here's my point, Aaron.
Deion's going to also draw numbers.
Listen, here's my point. So if USA pays for the Tier 1, they get their choice of the games that they get to show. And then if ESPN bought Tier 2, they get the leftovers. And do you think ESPN's going to be happy with, not just the USA would get the stuff that's in the top of the dumpster.
Yeah.
ESPN would get the stuff that fell out of the bag and is like gunked to the bottom of the dumpster. They're not going to pay a lot of money for that. Well, they already have the inventory that they feel like they need.
Right. And depending on the dollar amount, what's left in the Pac-12 that you're throwing money at?
Right. That's what I'm getting at. Like that's where I'm getting to.
I mean, I know some of the names have been ballyhooed about for Pac-12 editions of late. Tulane has been mentioned as a name. Rice.
Yeah.
Rice is what I put in my dinner. I'm not trying to watch
Rice. Not Ashy Rice that just got drafted by Kansas City.
Not trying to watch Rice on TV at any point in my life.
Ever. I was trying not to watch Tulane on my TV at any point in my life. Or Tulsa. Or Temple.
They're all the same. I just, it seems like they don't have a plan. And it seemed like they have not had a plan for a long time.
They did have a plan. They did have a plan.
Well,
and then the Big 12 jumped them, took their media deal that they thought was betrothed to them.
Because real G's move in silence.
And then they started, I mean, we've heard.
Brett Yormark has put the Pac-12 on its head.
Yeah.
He has shook George Kliavkoff down for every penny he has. And truthfully, I don't see how George Kliavkoff survives this with a job.
So here's, you know what this whole situation is? It's the song Regulators. Do you know the story of the song Regulators?
I mean, it's all about being jumped for everything. And
then Nate Dogg shows up and makes some bodies turn cold. And then they go get the ladies and they head to the East Side Motel. Like Brett Yormark is almost in the phase of making the bodies turn cold and then going to picking the ladies up off the curb and heading to the East Side Motel.
Even if the Pac-12 survives this somehow, even if they survive this somehow, which is becoming a harder and harder thing to envision.
They're going to be the American. They're going to be the Mountain West.
I think that gets NCAA where it wanted to be all along, though.
Potentially with 4 conferences.
Four power conferences, and the ACC looking up.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because
I think they want, everybody talks about 2. I think they need 4.
I think they need 4 as well. Because
I don't think 2 is it's enough inventory to carry the number of people that want in on live sports.
If you want to draw large crowds, you will lose a ton of people if you only have 2 power conferences.
And you'll lose a giant swath of the country that will no longer care about college sports. That's not going to happen, I don't think. You're going to lose the entire Atlantic seaboard and like Texas. I don't see that happening.
The West Coast, outside of UCLA and USC.
Well, but those people don't care about college sports to begin with.
That's true.
The Sun Belt,
yeah,
those people care about college sports. The people that root for Big 12 teams.
I mean, the Midwest you have completely covered with the Big 10, but there are other schools. There are other schools that do not exist in the Midwest in the Big 10 and SEC.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean it's fascinating, but this does not sound good for the Pac-12 at all.
Like I was trying to say earlier.
We can see it coming. We've been talking about it for ages.
If the Pac-12 survives this, there's no way in hell at this point George Kliavkoff survives this.
It's weird because he's so new on the job. And I guess here's my question, Aaron.
Deer in headlights?
Aaron, here's my question. Once this is done and these media rights deals are like, what good does firing him do?
What good does keeping him there when he couldn't get anything done while in office?
He met a gangster. Was that Gangs of New York where the bikers show up at the mob bar and they're trying to we're rednecks and this is our bar now, and the guy locks the door and he's like, oh, y'all done fucked up. You're in the wrong bar. And then they beat the hell out of them and kill them all. Yeah.
Or like
George Kliavkoff thought he walked into the mob bar to take control, and Brett Yormark was like, "Oh, here, we lock this door here real quick."
It's like every Peaky Blinders episode ever.
Right. All right, let's get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. That's the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.